And the prospecting engine has several different chunks of it. And so you really want to view it just like a car engine. Either it runs or it doesn't. And a car engine has a transmission, and it's got valve timings, it's got pistons, and there's certain ways you can build it and all that stuff. But for your car to get moving, you need an engine first, right? So let's talk about the parts that prospecting engine. And if you haven't explored any of these ideas in depth and in detail, and if you're interested in taking the next step of the IC, just hashtag IC. I'll have Brett send you a PM, ask you a couple questions, and we'll take it from there. This is something that we're building into and getting really good at in terms of building out a prospecting engine. Effectively, when your prospecting engine works, you sit back and you have people either calling you or emailing you saying, let's talk. So here's the specific parts of, say, the prospecting engine. And the goal of the prospecting engine is to feed everything into, let's just say, 5 to 10 appointments every single week of people that want to buy what you have to sell. And ideally, this happens automatically. Ideally, right? So let's just go ahead and do this. Oh, mess that up. 5 to 10 appointments every single week. Want to buy what you have to sell. And you're going to have certain inputs, and this is how this is going to work. So let's just say one of the ideas of a prospecting engine is in-person events. I'm just much more comfortable doing in-person events. I've done it my whole life. Everything makes sense. Sometimes this works in your area. Sometimes it doesn't. Like if you're in New York, you can just go to meetup.com and go to any of 50 events. But if you're in downtown Oklahoma, maybe you have one a week, right? So it's like you got to figure it out. Every single one of these inputs has pros and cons, and you have to kind of puzzle piece based upon your experience and things like that. One of them is in-person events. Another one right here, let's just put the sucker right here. Let's just say this is Facebook ads. So you're paying Facebook ads to get you a Facebook ad client. Depending upon the dollars that you have available, your experience, your repertoire, your expertise, sometimes this is doable. Sometimes it's not. If you're not good over the phone, if you don't have testimonials, or you don't have cases, you're going to have a bad time. But overall, Facebook ads is one of the inputs to your appointments, right? Next up is cold emailing. I have trouble cold emailing for some reason. It's not that the tech works. It's just that every time I send an email, my heart goes, oh my God, this person is going to hate me. I don't know why that's the case. I've just learned to understand it, work around it. So I'm paying someone to do the cold emailing for me. I actually got a client from cold emailing, which is cool. And cold emailing is effectively just going and getting a list and sending them an email saying, hey, can I get you, 20 or 30 new customers next month? If you're interested, reply yes. If not, that's okay. That's a cold email. You can get more specific with the language, what's right or wrong, but it's effectively a cold email. You can do other stuff. So let's talk about like voicemail drops. And you can use software like Slide Broadcast, and effectively you dial a number automatically through software, and then it pushes or ignores the dialing tone and pushes directly to a voicemail. So you can be like, hey, med spas in Texas, like my name is Jeff Miller, and I want to send you 10 to 50 more microblading appointments every single week. If that's something you're interested in, just call me back at this number. That's the voicemail, right? And we're experimenting this within the IC. It's just interesting how like the yield and the response in voicemail drops is so massive. Like if you send 100 voicemail drops, your phone will just bug out with the number of people calling you at one time. It is hilarious. You'll get like 50 calls in 30 seconds, right? So the voicemail drops, you really have to like bring it down like 5 or 10 an hour. And then lastly, you can do anything else. I don't know if this is the right bucket, but let's just say you have like LinkedIn, you have form fills, you have all the other things that really encompass a prospecting engine. And a lot of people like will have feedback. Yes, I'm missing a thing. I get it. I know that there's something else that's supposed to go on here. I'm just going to put in the bottom one. I'm going to call it all the other stuff, right? And the reason why I call it all the other stuff is because I haven't done LinkedIn for client generation. I haven't done form fills for client generation. I haven't done lumpy mail for client generation. I'm just going to say the other stuff, right? And that's okay, because what I want to do is I want to focus on this right here. Now, if you do this correctly, you can hit this number right here, 5 to 10 appointments every single week. That's 1 or 2 a day. That's it. That's a breakfast meeting and a dinner meeting, or a lunch meeting and an afternoon meeting, whatever it is. And those are appointments where you then do a qualifying call. And then later on, you can do, I don't think these boxes are going to line up, but let's just call it a demo. Just like this. This is ideally what you need to be doing to grow your agency in the right direction. Agencies that tend to fail or tend to bottom out tend to be messing this up, this one right here. Instead of getting this engine up and running and making sure that it works like a cruise ship, like a car, like a Lamborghini, like the factory, just getting that thing up and running, very often what will happen is they'll do one of these things, then they'll do this, and then they'll do this instead of having it up and running quickly and consistently. And so what I ended up doing was focusing on different aspects of the prospecting engine to know that it could work for me and then get it up and running from somebody else in exchange for money. So for in-person events, I just go to meetup.com or Eventbrite, Chamber of Commerce's, BNI's, meet and greet. Hey, my name is Jeff Miller. Yeah, I can deliver 30 customer opportunities a month. Would that move the needle in your business? Let's schedule a time. That's it. And doing that, I got 5 to 10 appointments every single week, and I grew from 0 to 25,000, and I peaked at $42,000 a month before I had to restructure my brain and had too many text messages and stuff like that. So with in-person events, I'm good. And if you feel like you aren't, I challenge you to do better. And instead of just sitting here and saying, oh, I'm bad at in-person events, I say, all right, are you? Have you gone to 2, 3, or 4, or 5 every single week for 2, 3, or 4 weeks, just like the gym? The easiest way that I know of that works for me to get clients that want to pay me money consistently, repeatedly, and at a higher rate than normal is by in-person events. Again, your mileage may vary. You got to puzzle piece. If you're not good with people and you're an internet first person and you just stare at individuals like Sam Ovens, in-person events probably ain't going to work for you. Cold emailing. Cold emailing worked for me. I actually had a $1,000 a month client because of it, a microblading spa out of Michigan. She's texting me just now saying what's going on with this? I said, we have a follow-up call scheduled Thursday. That's when you scheduled the time. We'll talk then. She goes, okay. And all I did was send emails to med spas in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Hey, my name is Jeff Miller, and I want to send you between 5 and 10 microblading clients every single week. Is that something you can take advantage of? And we did the qualifying call and demo, and she paid money. Cool. I have not done voicemail drops like I originally intended. And I have not yet cracked the code on Facebook ads until I realized that I should probably spend money with somebody who could help me figure it out. So I did. And here's what happened. And I'm bringing this up for a very specific reason. And I'm not going to be sharing anything that's out of bounds or anything like that. But the way most interneting works is in 3 big buckets. You're either getting appointments, let's just call it prospecting, to get people that want to buy what you have to sell. And then you can have a sales call with people that did buy what you have to sell. And then you have the fulfillment and make sure the people that bought get taken care of. The challenge is that very often people will bounce between these 3. They'll prospect a little bit, focus on getting the sales conversation going, getting the demo and the pitch. Now they got 3 or 4 clients. They focus on taking care of the clients. They'll bounce around back and forth. And that's inherently a mistake that keeps people below 5, 10, or 15K a month. When you're trying to break through 5, 10, 15K a month, and this is a reflection of conversation I had with Nick Korm, who's on the other side of the camera coming to the mastermind. Are you coming in? Oh yeah, here we go. There we go. Perfect. There you go. You'll probably start seeing his ads because Facebook heard me say his name, and then all of a sudden Facebook is going to be sending you stuff. That's just how the internet works. But the mistake is very often it's stuck in here. So they need to have an engine so prospecting is automatically up and running. Cold emailing takes time. Voicemail drops take time. In-person events take time. Facebook ads just take money. They don't take time, they take money. They run automatically, you get billed every single day, and all that fun stuff. That's why I genuinely believe that Facebook ads are the breakthrough between 5 and 10, 15K a month people and people that are doing 50 or 100K a month, because they are no longer having a conversation about the time in the day. Instead, they're having a conversation about the money it takes to keep the engine up and running. And so it was really darn cool having that conversation. So what we ended up doing is we created an ad that had specifically an audience call out, what they wanted, and a next step. So we'll say, like, hey, New York carpet cleaners, looking to get 5, 10 to 15 more carpet cleaning jobs every single week. If you're interested, click here. That's it. Nothing particularly advanced, nothing particularly challenging, just literally an audience call out, what they wanted, and a next step. Great, fine, perfect. Who did we send it to? Well, this is the interesting part about Facebook ads. You need to get a list of your future clients from somewhere. And I can't tell you where that list is. I know when I'm in front of people, like I have to have a higher than in terms of ethicalness and what I'm communicating. I know that I have a spotlight on me. And so I can't tell you how or where to get a list or anything like that. All I want to tell you is that you have to create an ad, you have to create a list, and then you have to do a qualifying call. This is how I'm learning to turn time into money and money into booked appointments and booked appointments into more money, which is really darn cool. And so far, by the way, it effing worked, which is really darn cool. Because this is what happened. Let's do this. Let me clear this up. We'll say Facebook ads for getting Facebook ads clients. So far, this is what happened. Nuts. I spent about $50 and got 6, we'll call them leads, of carpet cleaners that filled out my form. Awesome. Very, very cool. Then, of the 6, 3 people went ahead and scheduled a time. I didn't have to talk to them. I didn't have any automations. I didn't do anything advanced, nothing like that. All they did was schedule a time, just like I do for my clients, just like my chiropractor, just like my bike, just like I almost said carpet cleaners, just like I don't have a carpet cleaning client, just like I used to do for my carpet cleaners. They scheduled the time. That was it. Didn't have to call anybody back. Again, no great automations, no email follow-up, nothing. Of the 3, we did a qualifying call, right? So 1, 2, 3. The first guy, we talked for 20 minutes. I totally messed it up. And he said he didn't have the money. I didn't even quote him a price. He's like, I just don't have the money. Okay, fine, whatever. I know I messed up. I went ahead and John Madden myself, rebuilt it all. The second person, I called them. I didn't fill out this form, and I have no idea who you are. Okay, fine, whatever, no big deal. The third one came in, and that was for 11 a.m. Eastern Standard today, so literally an hour and 20 minutes ago. Cool. What do we talk about? Again, I had no idea who this guy was. I wasn't quite sure what the agenda was. I know I had my questions, but I didn't know anything about him. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the questions that I normally ask in terms of qualifying questions. So for example, what made you want to schedule a time with me today? And this is qualifying information pulled from my masterclass. It's the cold emailing masterclass. If you're interested in that, you can buy it. It's $97. If you'd like a link, just hashtag cold email my face. I'll be sure to send you a link. And if you'd like to take a next step and talk about the full-on inner circle, just hashtag IC. And I'll have my sales guy, Brett, reach out, ask you a couple questions and see if you want to take a next step. But literally, I said, what made you want to schedule a time with me today? He said, I've been in carpet cleaning since 1992. I have 4 territories, and my 5th is doing horrible. I'm looking at my notes right here on the right side of the screen. Everything I've done isn't working. No customers are engaging, and I need help. Oh, well, that's cool. He has 4 territories. He actually has 5. The 5th one is bad. He's tried it himself. He has no idea what to do. This guy's a dream client. Like, this is awesome. I said, okay, I understand. How are you currently getting carpet cleaning jobs for the other territories? He says, oh, okay, we do local listings, postcards, billboards. Everything is the same, but the 5th one isn't getting traction. He actually used the term engagement, but I don't want to say engagement on Facebook. It means something else, but I'll just say getting traction. I said, okay, so what kind of jobs are you doing now? And as it turns out, carpet cleaning companies actually have a bunch of different jobs. And I know this because I looked up carpet cleaning companies and looked up jobs, and then I looked at 5 websites, and there's a menu where it says all the stuff that they do. And so this is all the stuff that they do. A carpet cleaning company doesn't just do carpet cleaning. They'll do carpets, upholstery, area rugs, tile, mattress, grout, water, wood, damage, stuff like that. Cool. I said, literally, what type of jobs are you doing? And then I listed them out. He says, let me go ahead. He's doing only carpet cleaning and upholstery and tile. I think it's interesting asking this question because now he knows that I know other stuff about the industry. And more importantly, I can go in later on and say, hey, we need to incorporate an upsell. You need to start doing blank, wood, water damage. You need to start doing grout and mattresses. And the reason why is because we're learning from another carpet cleaner down the street, across the state, across the country, and they're getting results. So you should do this too. And we have ads that already work. So guess what? You're going to pay me more money type thing. I didn't say that to him, but that's what's going on in my head. From there, I said, gotcha. So on average, how many carpet cleaning jobs are you doing every week? That's it. He said with the 4 other territories, he's doing about, he says, 80 to 90 per week. Cool. That's a lot, I thought, right? So like 100 divided by 7, that's just under 14 jobs per day. I don't know how he's got time for that, but whatever. So he's doing about 80 to 90 per week. But the 5th territory is doing 1 per month. That's it. Absolutely bombing, beyond a shadow. That was just not working. I said, okay, I understand. What's your goal with the 5th territory? He says, get it up to 80 to 90 per week. Now, I don't know if I can ever get 80, 90 per week. So I said, like, what type of time frame? He says, the time frame doesn't matter. We just need more jobs. Great. So I said, well, Mr. Johnson, I want to repeat what I heard from you today. It looks like your 5th territory is a challenging scenario. You're at 1 job per month. You really want to get it to 80 to 90 per week, which is really closer to, let's just say, 250 jobs per month. Is that fair? And I got a question for you. So what type of revenue are we doing in total for all these other places? And he said the number, and I don't want to say it out loud, but the end result is he has money to spend on marketing and is willing to solve this problem in exchange. I said, great, that sounds awesome. Our best next steps is to schedule a demo, and I'll show you how it works, the kind of results you can expect, and how much the darn thing costs. Would tomorrow at the same time work, or later in the week? He answers, I said, great, I'll go ahead and schedule a time, and we'll talk then. Just make sure you're on a desktop with good internet and all decision makers are on the phone. That's it. So like I mentioned before, having a prospecting engine up and running works. The challenge most people have is they'll bounce between and turn the engines off when they're doing another part of the whole system. I'm experimenting and learning with different parts of the prospecting engine, and it looks like each part actually works. It's whether or not you're making it simple enough to work. I could have freaked out and said, oh my God, I need to make sure my Facebook ad is good enough and do all the customer research and have the automation set up and make sure my landing page is good enough. I did nothing like that. I literally just had a Facebook ad that had, hey, carpet cleaners in New York, do you want more carpet cleaning jobs? If so, schedule a time. That's it. And then we did the qualifying call, which could lead into a sales call. And then all of a sudden fulfillment is effectively like 99% done because I have a white labeler A, and B, the inner circle has carpet cleaning ads that already work, a bot that already works, all that fun stuff. Again, if you want to take a next step of the IC, just hashtag IC. But overall, the prospecting engine, it worked. Each step of this works. In-person events worked. Facebook ads worked. Cold emailing worked. Voicemail drops has worked for other people in the IC. I don't know how. Like we've got one guy that like made an extra 50K in 6 weeks because of the voicemail drops. But it's so darn cool to have stuff work. And I tell you what, guys, winning feels good. Like winning definitely feels good. And like fundamentally at the core, I could have let myself go ahead and deep dive into the reasons why it didn't work. Make sure my Facebook lead ad form versus ClickFunnels form, or is it a bot? And freaked out. And I said, you know what, guys? This is what I did. And this is why I'm wearing this shirt. Every time I wear this shirt, I make money. And if you are freaking out or if you are not moving forward, it's because you're giving yourself options. And instead of giving yourself options, give yourself progress. Instead of saying, oh my God, we've got all this stuff and everything that could go wrong and the prospecting and the sales and the blah, 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 and what about this and what about that and what about that? Don't give yourself options. Instead, simply give yourself some progress. And even if my Facebook ads bombed, and even if I wasn't getting people filling up the form, at the very least I had ads up and running. And if my qualifying calls bombed, at least I had leads. And if my sales call bombed, at least I had qualifying demos. And if you are having challenges moving forward, it's because fundamentally at the core, you have not set up your prospecting engine. And if you are consistently freaking out because you're hitting a 5, 10K a month and you're not breaking through to 25, 50, or 100K a month, it's because you're not having these engines run automatically. And it's because you're freaking out about time or money. I feel it. Like, I get that. I've been there. You can do in-person events. They're nearly free. You can do cold emailing. It just takes time. You can do voicemail drops if you want to be overwhelmed, or simply Facebook ads if you want to avoid that time and money trap. I hope every single person here realizes that this works. I mean, it wouldn't exist if it didn't, right? And if your challenge is, I can't get demos, I can't get clients, I have nobody hitting my calendar, I don't know what to do, it's because you have not set up your prospecting engine. And if you have challenges with this, if you want somebody to keep you accountable and mentor you and get you done and possibly do it for you, we have opportunities in the IC. Again, hashtag IC. But hot damn, this is good stuff. And there's people in the IC doing cold emailing and landing $1,000, $2,000, and even $9,000 deals. There are people doing in-person events, landing $5,700 a month deals like Tracy Wittenkeller. There are people doing Facebook ads, voicemail drops, like all this stuff plain old works. And I don't want to go into too much in depth and too much in detail because you'll be giving yourself options instead of progress. Just do yourself a favor today. Just set up cold emailing. Do yourself a favor today, go to an in-person event. Do yourself a favor and do a voicemail drop. That's it. If you do as such, you'll get a bang for your buck. You'll move forward quickly, and you'll build out a prospecting engine that'll enable you to get 5 to 10 appointments every single week, hitting your calendar. All you do is a qualifying call following the script that I just showed you. You can sit back and say like, all right, this is a bad fit. Not to worry, no big deal. I'll just pay Facebook more money and they'll get me a client. Cool. And then you can do a demo, show them how it works. Ladies and gents, I wish it was harder. But as I learned from the person that taught Russell Brunson how to webinar, if simple didn't work, you didn't make simple work. And I hope that makes sense for everybody here. Again, if simple didn't work,